Can't seem to break through that defensive sword and shield? Can never go out in solo PvP because you're always outnumbered? I think I could solve that problem. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the channel. My name is Sky, and today we're going to be teaching you how to deal with those pesky sword and shield users and stay calm under pressure so you can become a Legend of Aeternum. So, to kick things off with our first matchup, we're versing a one-handed sword and shield and Warhammer user. We know that when someone's using that one-handed sword and shield, they're going to be blocking a lot of our shots. They're going to be slowly trying to creep towards us so they can get their hands on us. But we're going to teach you today how to not let that happen. We also know that he has a Warhammer, so he has very, very high control. And that when we're up close to him, we want to get in, do some damage, maybe riposte, stun, and get out of there. We don't want to play around with him in melee. He will beat us in melee if forced in melee. So we're going to try to keep away from him as much as possible and just stick back until we capitalize on something that we think fit. So let's look at some of our keys to victory in this specific matchup. Patience is going to be key here. Forcing misplays is only going to punish us and work in his favor. We're going to need to be patient, force him to make a mistake or even switch out of his sword and shield, and capitalize the second he does. The second he takes out that Warhammer, we're going to pump damage in him as much as possible to take advantage of him not being able to block our attacks. Flesh backstab is going to be very important for maybe finishing off our target. Now, while using the flesh ability, you can flesh through them and instantly rotate your camera 180 degrees to get an instant backstab on them. So it's going to be very important to try to use that to either finish him off or get a nice chunk of damage before we leave. Whenever we're at range, we want to keep the pressure on. We want to always fire at him so we can get his stamina low and then potentially move in with our rapier and take away his blocks. If we get a block breaker, we can capitalize and get a ton of damage on him, and there's nothing he can even do about it. In this specific matchup, we're going to take anything that we can get. Whether it's just damaging his stamina or trapping him whenever available, we're going to try to take anything we can get from him to try to slowly dwindle him down. Hipfire is going to be absolutely amazing in this matchup. The reason why is because if you hold the right click button down, it shows that you're aiming. But you can avoid doing that and just press the left click button so they don't know when you're actually trying to shoot them. So it really helps with trying to land those powder burns or even power shots if you're spec'd into it. Lastly, the talent Weakened Defense is going to be amazing in this matchup. It allows us to deal more damage to his stamina while he's blocking, and it also gives us a nice chunk of armor pen for taking down heavy targets like this. So, without further ado, let's start with the breakdown of this duel. Okay, so I land that first shot, I flesh through him, and I try to get a backstab. And, you know, usually when you're fighting sword and shield, you don't really want to save flesh for getaways. You want to use it primarily for trying to get backstabs. So you flesh through them, get a backstab, and, you know, maybe dodge out of the way of their attacks. So I get my backstab. He hits me one time. Now, he just lunged. So I dodged it. And now hopefully I can get a free maybe attack or two. Let's see what happens. He blocks. I instantly try to rapier because I think I would hit him and then maybe he would try to shield bash me. He waits. He shield bashes me right in my chin. And now I'm stunned. So I'm going to try to immediately, after I get hit, I'm going to get out of there. He hits me. I back up. And now I'm on musket mode. Now he just switched to his Warhammer, which was a big mistake, in my opinion. Now, I just got 2 shots off back to back. Did about 1,500 damage total just because of that little mistake like that. Remember, when you're using that rapier and musket, capitalize on those mistakes. Make them pay for messing up like that. He swaps back to that shield. He learned his lesson. He swapped right back to that shield. He wants nothing to do with my shots hitting him in his face again. He swapped back to his shield. I tossed down a trap. Hopefully he would run into it. At this point, I angle myself directly behind the trap and I enter shooter stance. And the reason I'm directly behind is maybe because he has his lunge ability and, you know, he might lunge through it. I don't know if it's off CD yet, but what I do know is I'm going to get behind it and, you know, get as many shots in as I can. I missed that one. and missed that one. So I missed the shots, unfortunately. I load up my powder burn because I have some time. I hit him with the powder burn. Now, that's very important because he's at 50% health right now. So that powder burn is probably going to take him to about 30% HP just on its own. So I'm sure at this point I could outduel him if I land a riposte stun. But we're going to play it a little safe here. Let's see what happens. He's blocking. Now, he's out of stamina. He's out of HP. He's burning, and he's on the run. I need to push the gas and dominate him while he's on the back foot. I'm going to push him. He's running around. He's got some stamina back now, so that's in his favor. I walk up. I think he's going to try to lunge or even shield bash. He calls it out again. He sees my bait. Doesn't go for it. Immediately after, I evade back, roll to the left. He misses the lunge. I shoot, roll away, shoot again. And now I'm forcing him, now that he's low HP, I'm forcing him to make a bad decision. He has to. He has nothing he can do. He's very desperate right now. So he's just going to blindly run up to me and eventually just die to, my rapier combos. Moving on to this second duel, this one-handed sword and shield user was a lot tankier. He was in a different spec. So he's going to be doing a lot less damage, but he's going to be a lot harder to kill as well. So that's something I got to be mindful of. I hit him with a hip fire. See, like I said in the keys to victory, if you can bait them by running up to them and then hip firing them with that powder burn, you're in very good shape already. I hit him with the powder burn. I'm dodging his attacks. So he shield bashes me. I'm stunned. Right now, at this point, I'm spamming riposte because I think I can outduel him. I'm not trying to get out of there. I spam riposte. I counter his stun with mine. I roll behind him. I charge up a heavy attack. I land it. And I just dealt a lot of damage there in a very short amount of time. And he's heavy armor in tank spec. I hear people complain all the time that they're unkillable, they're this, they're that. They're very killable. You just need to land your shots, you need to land your attacks, and counter when the occasion rises. He activates Berserk. This is exactly what I want him to do. If he's off of his sword and shield, I have free range to damage him. He can't out DPS me, so he's hoping that he'll somehow get me low and swap back and maybe stun lock me. I'm not sure, but it wasn't a great play by him. I hit him with one shot. Now he's back to that sword and shield. He realized that it wasn't going to work. The all-in wasn't going to work. I throw a trap behind him. He lands in the trap. Now, I have one of two options. Try to A, all-in him, or B, activate shooter stance and dwindle his stamina. I think I can all-in him, so I'm going to push forward. We get a nice backstab there, and we're healing for all the damage we're doing as well. We riposte. He times it perfectly. Hits me 3 times. And right now, I'm all over the place. I'm doing everything I can possible to pressure him. I activate shooter stance. I knock off his block. Now I have a free shot right in the center of his forehead. I'm going to hit him right in the dome for 1,000 damage, and he is running for his life. We take out our rapier, and we're going to try to finish this duel. Sayonara. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the final clip for today is really going to be all about staying calm in high-stress situations. Being patient and knowing when to attack when you're outnumbered. Now I was just doing some quests, and I saw an enemy player there, so I thought I would open on him with shooter stance. So we open on him. We're waiting for a good shot to try to make sure we land that powder burn. We land it. We hit him 3 times, and he's almost one shot. So I'm going to load up another powder burn. Now, at this point, there's an ice storm on me. Obviously, it's not from the guy that we're shooting at. So that means there's someone else here. So that means I'm in a 2v1 situation. So right now, I need to get out of there, and I need to analyze what's going on, what's the complete situation. So I dodge. I'm trying to see out of the corner of my eye who I'm fighting. Now, At this point, I see 3 people total. I heard an arrow fly by me, so I know that one of them's an archer, and I know that one of them has an ice gauntlet. So I'm going to try to keep my distance from both of them until I have a possible kill. And I also know that the person that I was already shooting at is in the back. He's almost full health already. So right now at this moment, I'm going to try to pick off the weakest person I can find. I see the archer. I land the powder burn. So I'm thinking I can possibly kill him. I hit him in the head. Now, also what helped this situation greatly was the fact that the Ice Gauntlet user swapped to his other weapon and he bull rushed me. That's exactly what I wanted. I did not want him near the bow user because I wanted to separate them. I want to keep them separated so then I can make a play on him alone. I also know that the person I was shooting earlier is life staff now. He was shooting me. So I don't know if these players were in a group, but I need to kill this guy right now because he might be getting healed. So I go forward, I take out my rapier, I flesh, I shoot him, he's down for the count. Now, it's a 2v1 situation now. Now things are a little bit more manageable. I know what the matchups are, I know what they're weaker against, and I know what I'm stronger at them at. Another thing to take in consideration is the fact that whenever people are in groups for PvP, they tend to make a lot more mistakes because they're in groups. They don't have to individually worry about targets alone. They're not really worrying about the grand scale of what's happening. So people tend to make more mistakes. I do. It's normal. So when they make mistakes, I'm going to try to capitalize. He's trying to attack me. He lands on a trap. That's exactly what I'm talking about. He lands on a trap. I hit him in the head for 2.3 thousand HP. That was paired with my Onyx Gem and my musket, as well as the 20% on the trap damage and the 10% from the debuff on them. So that's a lot of damage on one basic attack. So that's 2.2k. I hit him with another 1,000. I'm using my rapier's evade and dodge to just make sure I'm not taking much damage. I take out my musket. Once again, when players are in groups, they're going to make mistakes more often than not. He's not expecting me to throw down a trap. He was expecting me to run for the hills, so he popped berserk and he was going to try to chase me down. So I trapped him. I take out my musket. I hit him 2 times for about 2,600 HP total, and it healed me. At this point, I'm trying to isolate who I want to attack. Who can I kill that's easier to kill? I riposte. I get a beautiful riposte off on both of them. I hit him. I go with the flesh, and now I'm out of there. If I can maybe land these 2 shots with my lock and load, I have very good kill potential here. So let's see what happens. I miss. I miss. It's very unfortunate, but it's not the end of that. Right now, I just need to kite a little bit longer until I find a better scenario. We're kiting. We put down another trap. He barely misses it. He also throws down an ice storm that I dodge. I'm reloading. I'm going to stay moving. I'm using potion on cooldown. And now I shoot. Lock and load, shoot. And I was hoping that I would have kill potential if I pushed him with flesh, but he potioned up, so it's going to be a little difficult. So I get a backstab off for 1,200 damage. Shoot, reload, shoot. And now I'm right back in the scenario I was before. Fishing for a better scenario. Fishing for a kill potential. Always on the move. Always active. Never standing still. I noticed that the life staff person is, I guess, more worried about the quests in the area than, I guess, finishing me off. So I'm going to take this guy away. I'm going to shoot him as much as possible. He just landed on a trap again. That's 3 out of 3 traps they landed on. And now I can really take advantage of how much damage I'm dealing to him. In 2 shots, I just did 4.3 thousand HP to this guy. Now I can finish him off. I have my rapier. I flesh through him. He's down for the count. Now, that's the end of this clip because the life staff user just ran away. I guess he just wasn't interested anymore. This example was just a tip and to show you guys, you know, to stay calm in a scenario like this. That's the most important thing to do in a scenario where you're outnumbered, is to stay calm, try to focus one target down if you can, and always be on the move. Use potions on cooldown, use defensives properly. These are all things you have to keep in mind of. And your movement and your speed is your ally. It's going to be super hard for people to even touch you if you use evade properly, flesh, you're trapping, you're rolling constantly and weapon swapping so there's no animation where you stop. You have a ton of things in your toolkit to keep you on the move and damage. I want to thank you guys for stopping by for this Comeback Kids video. My name is Sky, and go become a Legend of Aeternum.
Going in my camp.
That's two.
Yeah.